Here it asks us to write two equivalent fractions for the given fraction. There are some cases where we can reduce the fraction or simplify the fraction, and then other spots where it's already simplified. So let's do this one together. 15 and 3 both have a common factor of 3. 15 is 5 times 3, and 3 is 1 times 3. So if we divide both the top and bottom by 3, we get 5 over 1. And then to create another equivalent fraction, we can multiply by a number like 2. 15 times 2 is 30, and 3 times 2 is 6. For 1/7, we can multiply the top by something like 3. 1 times 3 is 3, and 7 times 3 is 21. And then pick another number to multiply by. Maybe you want to use 10. 1 times 10 is 10. 7 times 10 is 70. Find the slope of each line. So remember, we look for those slope triangles, those places where they cross in the corners. So this one, it looks like it goes up 3 and then over 5. So the slope would be 3 over 5. And then this one, here's another slope triangle with a 3 and a 5, but the slopes are not the same. As we move from left to right, you can see that the slope is falling, versus on this one, it is rising. So we read a line like we read a book from the left side to the right side, and since this is falling, it went down 3 and over 5. So this has a negative slope, negative 3/5. Find the slope of the lines for problems 2 through 5. We have a point here and a point here. It drops 2, and then it went over 6. That can be reduced to negative 1/3. Here it drops 3 and then goes over 1. So that has a slope of negative 3. This one is moving up, so it has a positive slope. There's a point there and a point here. It goes up 5 and over 2. This one is falling as we go from left to right. It went down 5 and over 2. We always move from left to right, so the point on the left to the point on the right. Down 5 over 2. A line with a slope of negative 4/3 passes through the point negative 6, 1. 4 students used the slope and the given point to locate a second point and graph the line. Their work is shown. 3 of the students made an error. Who graphed the line correctly? Then describe the error made by each of the 3 students. So they were all supposed to start at negative 6, 1, which is this point here. So far, these 2 have it correct. Let's check the third person. The third and fourth person. Negative 6, 1, negative 6, 1. So all of them have the first point graphed correctly. Then it was supposed to have a slope of negative 4/3, so it needs to go down Both of these go down. Ava's goes down, but Henry's goes up. So Henry's we know is incorrect because it has a positive slope. It's increasing from left to right. So Henry's is incorrect. So on B, we can say Henry used a positive slope. The slope is -4/3, so let's check these. We should go down 4 and over 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like Noor has it correct. Liam went right 4 and down 3. So he used a slope of -3/4. He went down 3 and over 4. And Ava also went down 3 and over 4. You can see that they both ended up at the point -2, -2. For problems 7 and 8, graph the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. So we're starting at -8, +4. This slope is -2/7, so that tells us to go down 2 and over 7. From there we can go down 2 again and over 7 again. And then remember we're going to put a line through those points using a straight edge. Oops. And we'll want to include arrows at the ends of those lines to indicate that it continues in both directions. For this next one, we're starting at the point 0, 6. This has a slope of -3. Keep in mind that there are invisible ones under those whole numbers. So this is down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. And then continue by graphing the line through those points. And we can use arrows to indicate that it continues on forever in both of those directions. Head back to page 225 in your workbook so we can add more notes for the description of a falling line. So for this one, it has a slope. It goes down 1 and right 3, so it has a slope of -1/3. In this box, we also need the description. And your description should say the opposite of the value of the height to base ratio of a slope triangle. So if it was a 1/3, the opposite of that would be -1/3. I'll leave it here so you can write that down. And that is all for lesson 18. It's a quick lesson just looking at the difference between positive and negative slopes. Keep in mind we move from left to right, so we're looking for whether it rises or falls.